This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
JP, quick public service announcement.
Okay.
If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them in.
Okay.
So your disc golf baskets.
Yeah.
Remember, if you're cold outside, they're cold outside. Bring them in. 'Tis the season. Practice baskets coming inside, right?
Or have two that you already keep one outside and have one in the basement.
You would be that guy.
I am that guy.
Oh my goodness. So does the one outside look longingly at the one inside and be like, oh, I could be that one?
No, because it's in the basement, so they can't see each other.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he doesn't even know that there's
So you
another one
keep
in the basement.
chained up
keep
in
them
the
separate.
basement?
Yeah.
Wow. So segregating still.
Keep them chained up in the basement.
Wow. Chaining up and segregating?
Yeah.
JP, your privilege is showing. Okay. Now that we have that out of the way.
Yep.
All right.
No.
No.
Never mind.
Oh, you got to say it now.
No,
Okay.
I don't have anything.
Okay. You're lying. All right. Well, this is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been 2 weeks. So we'll be intermittent. We'll try to do every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Does that
something
sound
like
right?
I mean, if there's
Unless there's
big stuff
holidays.
going on, and it's holiday season.
Yeah. I mean, then once disc golf happens again and we start seeing moves, and which usually January is starting to see moves, we'll get back to a little more regular. I'll be gone and won't be able to be on my phone or anything. January like 13th to the 17th or something like that, like 12th to the 18th or something. I don't remember what it was.
Really way to nail those dates.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Somewhere in that area.
Right on.
In that realm. So we will miss that week for sure. But so what we're going to do, we're going to chat a little the champ.
Yeah.
We're going to chat maybe a little bit of New London. We're going to chat about the most popular people in one of the smallest countries in the world. And then we're going to have another episode of Gannon and Gannon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's start there.
Okay.
So this episode of Gannon and Gannon, they're both the players of the year.
Yes.
So
One, a little more like dominant, unanimous perhaps in voting.
Yep.
The other one, maybe a bit more controversial.
Yes. See, one, the Gannon of the male variety, he kind of just like buttoned it down. Said, I'm here. I'm taking this.
Yes.
So there's really no question. He deserves it. The Gannon of the female variety, I guess, didn't do that so well. And there's a lot of controversy about it.
Right.
So people are saying that there are other women that are more deserving of it. I don't know if I agree with it or not.
If you agree that there's other women more deserving, or that she should have been player of the year?
No, that there are other people more deserving. Other women
okay.
more deserving.
Got it.
I think she's just as deserving as anybody else. I mean, I think she's more deserving than Paige Pierce that shared with Katrina Allen that year. Like, Katrina Allen should have for sure won it.
Right.
And Paige Pierce didn't.
But that was PDJ player of the year.
That was.
I mean, that was a points thing, and there's whatever, Katrina's playing B tier, C tiers, whatever, like that went down, and yeah. I don't have a problem with Missy being player of the year. I guess, if you look at stats like wins, I mean, she did have some pretty good wins. Kristen had really good wins. Evelina had 2 majors and some pretty decent wins.
So we had four ladies, right? Is who we'd be talking about. So in reality, it's Gannon, Tatar, Evelina, and Hanley.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, from the most part, what I've seen is it kind of came down to like Evelina. I mean, you could throw Holland in there. Like she was like ahead like most of the season up until pretty much the end.
Yeah, basically the last 2 tournaments, really.
Right. So.
Yeah. And Evelina, most improved, maybe?
I believe she did actually get most or comeback player.
Maybe comeback, yeah, because they did do that change now.
Yes. She and I believe it was Gavin, or shoot. Gavin Rathbun.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they both won Comeback Players of the Year.
Yep. Yep.
And then Joseph Anderson, Joey Buckets, Most Improved. And Evelina also got Most Improved.
Oh, she got both.
She got both.
How can you get Most Improved and Comeback?
That's a strange one to me.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Can we have a discussion about that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's because I'm trying to understand what Evelina's coming back from. Right? Like...
Right.
I mean, she got her first wins this year, right? Like...
There was one. Remember when we looked it up? It was either 1 or 2 wins prior to that.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
But nothing standout.
No.
Nothing standout. I do not understand that either. So Most Improved and Comeback. How? Like I don't understand where those two things are coming from. Now, Evelina has always been a top tier disc golfer for sure.
Yeah, right. Well,
she's been in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, last year maybe she wasn't.
She putted herself out of some tournaments for sure.
Right.
Like mentally out of it.
Right.
But I mean, this year with the 2 majors, I mean, that's definitely an improvement. I mean, that's crazy. But I don't understand the comeback.
So comeback means that you were at the upper echelon, fell off, and then came back, right?
Right, yeah.
Most Improved means you were at a base level and you improved.
Right.
You cannot be both. It's not the same award.
Yeah.
Because if you're comeback, that means at one point you were at a level 100. And then some like mage stole your magic and you went down to like a 50.
You're right, yeah.
And now you're back to 100 after like killing a bunch of orcs and stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, that's comeback. Most Improved is nothing was ever stolen from you. You just killed a bunch of orcs and went from 50 to 100.
Yeah, right. Because I never feel like she ever toppled out of like top 10 or like top 15.
I don't think so either.
I don't know.
I don't think so either. So that's a weird little thing. And I know if we go back and we wanted to be like a little more, I guess a bit more educated about this, we could actually read what the qualifiers are.
Yeah, right.
But I still don't like, are they the same award with 2 names? 2 different names or what?
I don't think.
Because I don't understand how you can be a comeback player and Most Improved.
I mean, okay, so Comeback Player of the Year. She won her first, this is according to Pro Tour on Instagram. I mean, she won her first DGPT event since 2020, her first major since 2018. And so I guess like they're going back that far to say that's a comeback?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I can see that as being a comeback. This will now justify the Most Improved.
Okay, let's see what they say for her for Most Improved. Had 4 wins this season, including 2 majors, and having 0 Elite Series or majors wins in the last 3 years. She also
cut
finished
this award off.
So she also finished 20 places higher than last season in the DGPT standings.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So she was that low. So she definitely improved. That is definitely an improvement.
Right. I get that. Yeah. So why are there 2 separate? Because the comeback is always going to be Most Improved, right? Because the Rookie of the Year is going to take any newcomers.
Right. Well, like let's take a look at Gavin Rathbun's case for a minute too. Gavin had the shoulder injury. He was with Discmania prior to going to DD, and then this year, he was let go out of his contract with DD, or they decided to split ways, and so he decided to go open bag this year, and so I think that's a comeback. Considering he had an injury, kind of fell off, and like kind of played his way into the top 20 again. I mean, like to me, that's a comeback. You're actually coming back after being out, or like So I don't. It's weird
for a reason that's not just poor play. right?
Right.
There's medical reason behind that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I see it. I see it. I guess I'm just trying to validate like how those two things can be different,
Right.
or should they be, or why aren't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Gavin Rathbun, he did not also win most improved, right? He just won comeback.
He just won comeback. Yes.
So who won most improved on MPO?
Let me just take a look real quick. Why are they not showing this?
Is it slid under Gavin Rathbun's?
No, it just said. Oh, Joseph Anderson, most improved.
Oh, that's right. That's
yes,
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
got his first Elite Series win at Idlewild and finished 50 places higher than last season.
Okay.
That's improvement. I mean, he had multiple top 10 finishes. He was in the running for quite a few tournaments.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, that I would say is improvement.
Right. Okay. Man, but I don't understand how Holland doesn't slot into either of those. Like most improved or comeback. No, maybe not comeback because she was never there. Right.
Yeah.
So why would she not slot into?
That's tough for me too. I mean, you kind of have to give like if Holland had won a major, I would slot her. I would think, yeah. I mean, she held the lead for the DGPT tour for most of the season.
Yeah.
I feel like she was really close to the top last year though, and
she got 3 wins this year, didn't she? She never won last year, Holland.
I mean, she had the throw pink, but that's an X year.
Yeah.
No, I feel like she did win something, right? No,
Her first year was this year, remember? Because we were like super stoked about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I mean, it's kind of hard though. I mean, somebody with 2 majors to not give it to them for that's quite
From
not
none
having
to 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just ranking that bumped her out because if she only went up 6 spots and Evelina went up 20, big difference. Well, maybe I don't agree with that. But Gannon, I'm fine with. I don't really have any complications with that. You know, as far as Gannon winning Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Compared to Evelina.
The only thing that I think held Kristen back, right? Disc golf's very touchy because you set your own schedules, you know, like you're going to take time off for whatever. Like, obviously she was injured. Obviously, like she had her married, you know, she got married. I don't know like how that figured into how she had gotten her, you know, made up her schedule and everything.
Hold on. Did you know that she has a Porsche?
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Ooh.
Just wanted to let you know.
Okay. So I don't want to say she was punished, but missing a large chunk of a already like kind of truncated season, like you're not playing in as many tournaments as maybe you could have anyway, that hurt her a little bit. But like the few tournaments that she did play in, I mean, she had 6 wins. I mean, I just think that part of not playing like your full schedule kind of hurt her a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see that, and she did. Her U.S. portion was significantly less than it was in the 2 years past.
Yes,
she made the big hitters. You know, she made it over for the big events, and essentially she won almost every one she was here for.
Right.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, it goes back to the Paige and Katrina thing. Like back in the day, reason Katrina won essentially was because of smaller and more events. She was playing more frequently.
Okay, so here's a breakdown of this was on Reddit. Here's a breakdown. Kristen has 1 major, Evelina 2, Missy 1. Kristen and Missy tied for Elite Series victories with 5. Missy was first. Kristen was third in DGPT. Kristen's average finish was 2.6. She had the higher rating of 996 to 982. She had better finishes. She was 12 out of 15 for podiums. Missy was 9 out of 22. And Kristen finished in the top 10, 15 out of 15, and Missy was 20 out of 22. But Missy played in 22 events to Kristen's 15. And she also had higher earnings for the season. So
She won the ones that mattered.
Right.
Well, the big dollar ones, really.
Big dollar
is what it
ones.
was. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, because the Pro Tour finale, right? The Tour finale? No. Yeah, the Tour finale, she won 30 Gs.
Yeah.
Just right there.
Right. I mean, okay, so money shouldn't, I don't think, like, money, cool. Like, that's fine. Whatever it is. It's what it is. You make that playing, but, I mean, that's not something that should be counted into consideration.
No, she doesn't have a Porsche, so.
Yeah, right. I mean, she could probably buy one now, though, if she really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue that if this is a Pro Tour event and you finish first at the Pro Tour and you've won that many elite, like,
how can you not be?
yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
No, I'm with it. All right. Well, there you go. There's the Gannon and Gannon talk. So that's the end of that episode. Maybe next week.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. New London. So a quick one. New London Tech is staying at New London Tech. So essentially what they're doing is they're just moving it across the road. They're moving it about, 20 acres away.
Really?
That's it. Yep. So it's staying at the park.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of woods and all that stuff. They got the approval to go ahead and move it.
Awesome.
So sounds like it's going to stay. I don't know if Paul is going to come back and redesign it or not. I didn't get any details from the thing that I saw. So, but it sounds like it's staying.
I mean, it's just such a bummer that they have that, like, business park area that they're forced to move, but it's great that it's not just going away, and that because they did have the big push to, like, help save it, help so that's great. There is enough money probably to be able to do it, or talk to whoever they need to do to get that done.
And I know Paul was a big part of that, so I'm assuming he's going to go back in there and redesign it, which would be fantastic. I hope he does. But who knows? So I mean, they're essentially losing 9 holes. So they're going to keep 9 of the original, and then they're going to redo 9 more. Ooh. So that's great. So good things. So we will see it again on the Pro Tour, I'm sure.
I would imagine so.
I would hope so. It's a great course. It looks like a great course anyways.
Right.
And they got reception. They never dropped there. It was pretty
There's
good.
a lot of positives.
Yeah, there are. All right, here's the heavy hitter. The champ. Ken Climo is officially leaving Innova Disc Sports.
Yeah.
After over 20 years. No.
Yeah.
30 years. He was with them from 97. No, almost 30 years.
I think they said like 26.
Yeah, 26 years.
Yeah.
Almost 30. 25 years. A quarter of a century.
That's just insane.
Yeah. Why is this such big news, first of all? Other than he is a legacy player of Innova. He has 4 legacy molds with Innova. That his name is just on them.
You're right.
In perpetuity. He has 2 plastics, Casey and Casey Pro, with Innova. He's essentially been the face of Innova for years, for a quarter century.
Yeah.
For 2 decades, 2.5 decades.
That's just wild.
Yeah. Incredible.
I mean, what do you say? Like, it's synonymous, like, just synonymous. Like you said, like
Innova, Ken Climo.
Yeah.
All right. So, first off, why? Why do you think this is coming up right now? Because Ken hasn't really come out and said anything other than, yep, it's happening. Right? He hasn't given a why other than it's a mutual split. Still love Innova.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 20-some years.
Right.
All that. But outside of that, nothing.
Well, Innova posted something like he got an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Yep.
That was one of the things that they said. And so I'm like,
in disc golf.
yeah. So like your brain starts like turning. Like, what could it possibly be? The timing's a bit weird too, right before the holiday. Like,
Yeah.
what's up with that? Like, why this time of year? Like,
Right.
I mean, obviously announcements for player movement are going to get announced, but there's got to be some kind of rush to like what he's doing to like get him moving
Right.
to where he has to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's what I'm kind of thinking of. Like they made this announcement, or he was already like in the process of moving, and they're like, we're gonna make this official statement.
Right. Yep. Why would Ken Climo leave business wise? Essentially, every disc that goes out there, unless. So I've heard 2 stories about this. I don't know anything official. I've heard that Ken Climo took a one-time lump sum.
Okay, I was going to bring that up
Deal.
because I think you brought that up another podcast like a while back
Yeah,
because
a
he was
couple
having
years
some
ago.
financial situation.
Right. So I've heard that through the grapevine that's what happened. He took a lump sum and basically said, I would really love some money. So these royalties that I'm getting for these discs, I need a lump sum. And Innova said, yep, go for it. We'll give it to you. And I've also heard that the amount that he was getting was probably good when he signed the contract back in 98, 99.
Yeah.
For the royalties. And now it's chump change.
Sure.
And
Oh yeah.
from what I'm understanding, like cents on the disc.
Right.
But there's still a ton of discs that go out there. If you go to Walmart or Dick's or wherever, Dunham's, every disc that's on that shelf is either Brinsters or Climos.
Yeah.
Nobody else is naming it on them.
True.
There's a lot of discs on the shelf. So, you think about that. I mean, I guess that's still a lot of money. Even if it's like 4 or 5 cents a disc. Like,
Yeah.
still going to be a lot of money.
Right.
But with all that being said, his deal had to be amazing to pass that up. Unless he did take the one time
Yeah.
for his rights.
Right.
So I don't know. My assumption is that rumor that I hear about him taking the one-time payout is true, or else why would he leave?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a ton of sense.
Yep. Or maybe it's like 1 cent a disc.
Oh my God.
Wouldn't that be stupid?
Oh, that would be. Oh man. Like that's the type of deal where you think like disc golf's not going to last long enough. Where you're like, yeah, sure, a penny a disc. Like, oh yeah,
Yeah, like whatever.
yeah.
It'll buy me a carton of Marlboros. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation because he's never said anything, and
True.
neither has Innova. So when you look at what the possibilities are, I think those are basically the only 2 possibilities. Or he was never savvy enough to sign a contract for naming rights. He was just happy to see his names on the disc, right?
Yeah.
I would assume that's not the case, but it's a possibility.
It's true. Yeah.
Possibility. So if he's going somewhere, my assumption is it has to be an absolutely crazy, phenomenal deal
Right.
for him to come in.
Well, I'm curious how they came up with the decision. Like, what all of a sudden is he like, okay, I'm just not getting enough money. Am I like a family member's like, oh, you could do a lot better? Like something like, did he get talked out of it? Yeah. Like,
Yeah. And let's be honest. Where's the relevancy coming from? Like, why is it that somebody or something or some entity or someone feels like Ken Climo still has enough relevancy to give them back whatever they're paying him?
Yeah.
And on the flip side, what in Ken Climo's mind made him decide that he wants to come back? And he is relevant still.
Sure.
I'm not saying he's not relevant. I'm just saying, where's that relevancy coming from now?
Yeah.
Did he retire officially from hanging drywall now or something like that? And that's not a dig. Like, that's what he was doing from what I understand. Is he retiring? Like, is he just like, I'm done with construction. Like, I need to get back to doing what I do.
I
Playing
don't know.
disc golf, or I don't know. Or maybe I'm speaking ignorant and maybe he wasn't a construction worker, but I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So it's like you look at places or entities. It's like DD could use somebody that big name that like go reach or House of Discs, like but specifically DD.
Yep.
I don't know what kind of cash they could come up with. Like my thinking is that he was offered. There's a couple things. One, he's offered his own line of discs. Like, you're going to start your own company. We can help you do that. Go for it. Like, that's part of it. The other part of me is like, okay, he's got something to do Media wise, got a good deal with Disc Golf Pro Tour, like going that way. Like they're gonna have him on like all the time. I don't know if somebody would have offered him like ownership into some company, or like there's just like a couple like great, like the ideas are out there. They're just big that if the deal's too good to pass up,
Right.
like
Yep.
I'd love to hear it, what it is.
And it's usually, if something's too good to be true, probably too good to be true.
Yeah.
Right? So here's my speculation. We'll start with speculation. My number one thought is that Prodigy offered him ownership stake in reviving the business.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Because who else is that desperate? And Ken Climo is not an act of desperation. But Prodigy is going to do anything they can to revive the company, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of that last stitch, like, we got to figure this out. And if not, I guess it is what it is, right?
Sure.
That's what I see Prodigy doing. And who will they have left after this season to pay?
Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. The likelihood is very few people.
Yeah.
So why not put some big dollars behind a icon of our sport and let him see where he runs?
Yeah.
You think you got Kale LaVisca, Ken Climo, like two pretty big names.
Yeah.
You know, two pretty
True.
big names. And Ken Climo, I think, carries the most weight out of any of them, you know. But then again, there's a concept of relevancy, you know. The other one that I've heard that I don't know if I subscribe to is an ownership stake in the Pro Tour.
Oh, that's my brain was kind of going that way. Like I could definitely see that. It'd be crazy. Like the Ken Climo Disc Golf Pro Tour, like naming rights
Yes.
kind of deal.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's great. Like Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
Like you kind of stretch it out that way, you know, and they have the Ken Climo Award.
Yeah.
They have the, was the Sarah Holcomb Award? No, Elaine King Award. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe. Or is he going to become the ipso facto CEO of PDGA? Is he going to kick Nate Heinold out of his position? He's taken over.
Oh my God. I could see Nate kicking and screaming out the door.
Oh, it'd be funny. It would be a fun one to watch. I know those are elected positions, but you know how funny that would be if there was some coup
Yeah.
and they have like Ken Climo sitting up there.
Yeah.
Make the PDGA great again. Okay. So back to the two realistic, well, semi-realistic is the ownership stake either in PDGA or Prodigy. What do you think of those two?
I think are you talking Pro Tour?
Yeah, Pro Tour, not,
yeah.
not PDGA. Sorry.
No,
Pro Tour.
I could see the Pro Tour asking Ken about it. You know, Jeff, it would make sense. I don't know how much they'd be willing to give up to Ken. The Prodigy one, definitely I could see having to make a big splash, especially if because of what we've just seen with Prodigy having a fire sale on Isaac Robinson gear and, you know, a couple other people, but Isaac's was definitely the most money, like 75% off all his items.
And
just,
what a big FU. Like, am I right or am I right? Like for Prodigy to do that.
yeah. Hey, holidays, you know,
Right.
Black Friday, all that.
I wonder if they put it on a 75% off, do they still have to pay his portion to him no matter what?
I would guess so.
I would hope so. Like, I hope that's a stuck number, not a percentage of.
Yeah, right.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, we just couldn't come up with that last bit because we sold all your stuff
Yeah.
at 75% off. Yeah. But it's because I could see Prodigy going the way of like Lone Star, where they're more about getting their plastic into the amateurs' hands, not necessarily working on having big names like signed to their company.
But haven't they already done that, though?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that kind of how they started? So 2012, it was kind of a players company,
It
right?
was, yeah.
And then they went into real heavy in there. I mean, they're the ones that kind of introduced the street teams,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But they could go back to their roots. I mean, that's what got them big. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And they're still big. They're still big in Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But man, if the U.S. market is being held up by Europe has to cut them soon, cut them loose. If there are any sort of monetary ties between the two of them, Europe has to be discussing about cutting loose.
Right?
It's like Walmart's and I don't know. You just think Walmart's they shut down Walmart's on non-profitable stores, like Festival Foods. They shut down Festival Foods for non-profitable stores. Business is business, you know. And if the U.S. market is not profitable for Prodigy, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe there are some diehard Prodigy people out there.
Yeah.
But the majority of disc golfers are everything but Prodigy. I mean, you have those diehard fanatics, but outside of that, it's not just a common disc, and plus their naming schemes suck. Anyways, back to it.
Way to just drop that. I think people feel that way about Discmania too. What do you mean FD3? Yeah.
I think those two, it is very simple, but they suck.
Right, yeah.
And I think it's because they're too straightforward. Mm-hmm. They're entirely too straightforward. And it is a little bit different between Prodigy, and numbers go backwards. The higher one gets, the more stable it is. The higher the other one gets, the less stable it gets, right?
Yeah.
But Prodigy's F7's super unstable.
Yep.
The FD or FD1 or 2 or 3, you get to the 3 and it's amazingly beefy.
Yep.
But with that being said, they're amazingly simple to understand what they are.
Yeah.
And I think that hurts disc golfers, because I think disc golfers like to be yeah, it's a predator. What's a predator? Well, it's super overstable. Yeah. So anyways.
I think that's why they come up with the showstopper, the collet breaker, those signature discs to be that's our cool discs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's amazing how closely Prodigy does the same thing. With the distortion and the Falcor. And I know they're separate lines, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing. So
it is.
Okay. Well, I see. So Climo, yes or no with Prodigy?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I wouldn't rule it out, but I'm thinking no.
Okay. Pro Tour. Where's his value in the Pro Tour?
I think his value lies if he's around. If he's stopping at every Pro Tour and it's okay, Ken Climo's going to be here every weekend to either announce the winner of a tournament or do something media wise, be on coverage, because he's really good on. I think he's pretty good on coverage.
Agreed.
That he brings value there for sure.
He does 100%.
Yep.
Nate Doss, Ken Climo.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I love what Nate Doss does.
Do you?
Outside of commentary. Actually, we'll get to it. The Legends Skins match.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think Climo is fantastic on the mic. He could do without a camera, for the most part.
Yeah. Okay.
He's very gruff. He's very he's very normal. Whereas, let's take the NFL. NFL's done this where they've started to take ex players.
Oh yeah.
And put them in.
Right.
And ESPN has done pretty well with it. Monday Night Crew, all that stuff. With that, you think Pat McAfee. He's phenomenal. He's probably one of the most successful. Shanahan probably as well, or Strahan, excuse me, as well. But you take Strahan and McAfee, both kind of good looking dudes, right? They got a good face. They're not they don't have smoker's lung. You know what I mean? They're good. And I think Climo is just every day.
Yeah, okay. But so are disc golfers for the most part.
They are, but is that what you want the face to be?
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. I get what you're saying.
And this is not sexist This is not anything because I'm going to talk about men and women here. Like you put Kale LaVisca or some of these hot guys, and the same thing on the women's side. Like you put these people on the camera, you just get more engagement.
Sure.
Attractive people sell things,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Is Ken Climo that attractive person? To somebody, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that away from him. But he's an experienced dude, like in life and in disc golf. His knowledge is unmatched, right? I don't know. You're looking at me like I'm talking myself into a grave.
No. Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
No. Right. You're the one saying it, not me.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take the heat. I don't mind.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but I like if he was commentary on Pro Tour, I would love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the only other one I've heard, Discraft.
That my mind went there as well.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
It'd be pretty crazy to have Macbeth and Climo there at the same time.
Yes.
Right? Like to think about that. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of champions.
There's a lot of champions on that team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of champions on that team. Then they just need to get like McCabe, and then they would have the last like 2 decades worth of champs on their team, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because what does Doss have? 2?
Yeah.
Macbeth has 6. Climo has 11.
Yeah.
That's a lot of that's a lot of years,
including Paige.
And then you got Paige.
Yeah.
Missy? No, Missy doesn't have one.
No.
Valerie Jenkins.
Yeah.
She's technically still Discraft. I don't think she plays at all, but
no, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Because I know she came over from Innova, but
yeah,
they got a lot of world championships.
Yes,
right there.
Yeah,
they add Climo, like, wow, it's impressive. It's impressive. So, all right, what's the value at Discraft for Climo if he goes?
God. What is his value at Discraft? That's tough because it's like they already have an abundance there. It's like, why would you need to bring him there? Like I just that kind of doesn't make, like, I could see it, but it also kind of doesn't make sense to me. And there's like, what? Because like I feel like whatever Ken can give them, Paul probably already has given them.
Yes.
That's what, in some ways.
Yeah, I'm trying to see how that dynamic would work. I do compare it to like 49ers in the 90s, like, or the Patriots in the 2000s, or, like, just because they don't need another all-star doesn't mean they're not going to go grab another all-star.
Well, true.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right, yeah.
Because they might be hard to work with. You might have a hard time fitting them somewhere, but they're going to help in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
As long as they can figure out how to pull the maximum potential out of them, right? Or even to have that square peg fit in the round hole, But I can't envision any way that it would make sense for Discraft at any large amount of money, because Paul's doing it for him already,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think Ken's going to bring anything more than Paul would.
Right, yeah.
Macbeth. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. All right, what are some other ones you think you've heard about?
I mean, I was just thinking about the House of Disc situation.
Okay.
That's where my whole thing was. And then I've heard he just might go out on his own and my thing is he was going to go out on his, like, he got the opportunity to like start his own thing. Mm-hmm. And that could possibly be where he's going. Very
possible. What about the idea of Lone Star? I mean, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility.
That would be crazy.
It would. I wonder what that would look like, because do you think that Lone Star would offer that? Because they go after Black Sheep a bit.
Yeah.
And Nico has been there for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't really heard anything out of Nico or Lone Star for that matter.
True.
For Nico.
True.
Do you think that that's a possibility?
Wow. See, to me though, it doesn't seem like they want to pay anybody that much money. Like, I think they would rather just fold up and go home than pay somebody an exorbitant amount of money.
But when you get the taste of like success, and they were like a rocket ship.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They were a rocket ship, and they saw where and somehow it petered and fell.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do you think they're still trying to grab that, like shoot for that moon? And is this their attempt to?
They could. I mean, it seems like they've lost a bit of relevancy for sure.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when they first came out, like everybody's like plastic's great, all this, all that, and then, but their players weren't doing anything, so it was like,
right,
yeah, falling kind of back to earth.
And does Climo need to do anything? Or is Climo just Climo? And him going to Lone Star do that for them?
It could. It very well could. But it's like, okay, he definitely bring knowledge to them, to their disc making, right? For sure. Like helping them with holes in lineups, things like that. He could mentor quite a few of the players there as well. I feel like a lot of money would have to go his way unless they're offering him like, because obviously they're two separate things. Like the oil company, the discs. Like, we'll give you the Lone Star the discs. Like that could be crazy. And then we'll just handle that, and then you tell us what you need. Blah blah blah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting concept.
Okay. What about dropship?
Josh's.
Yeah, Josh. I would love to see Josh and Ken Climo come together.
Oh man,
I think it would be hilarious.
He's Meridian. Yeah.
He's dropship and Meridian.
Yeah.
I would love to see those two come together. I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hilarious. Not gonna happen, but I can't think of anything else. I mean, the only other very, very unreal possibility is Clash. Because they got nobody. They got nobody in the United States, right?
I mean, because they're not exclusive. Like, they don't have exclusive bags. Like, I think Proctor, or was he part Clash? For sure he's Throt Space.
Yeah, Cupcake was part Clash.
Yep. Oakley, I think.
Oakley was for a short while.
Erica Stinchcomb, I think. Yeah, like, so they don't have anybody definitively just Clash. Yeah, I don't know.
And some of their discs, they're running some understable stuff. They're kind of going to some old classic style of flights and molds.
Yeah.
There's a very good possibility. I mean, like the Millet is like a rock, like a classic rock.
Oh, is it?
It's a beautiful.
I don't think I've ever
disc.
seen it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really great discs out there that they have, and they're pretty darn close to having a full bag now.
Okay.
They're pretty darn close. Because they got their overstable, the understable, and stable of the fairway, distance driver, and mid-range.
Sure.
Their putters lineup isn't awesome, and their overstable approach is okay.
Yeah, I mean, they got
it's
the mint, the peppermint.
we have the guava. What's technically a mid, I guess.
Yeah.
The cherry is a mid. Yeah, I mean they got a lineup like.
Yeah.
But does Ken Climo, if Bobby wasn't worth, is Ken Climo?
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. And speaking of Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, he's killing it.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like he's doing pretty cool. Like, every time I see him on the Shills thing, I'm like, dude, that is so cool. Anyways, just figured I'd say that.
Yeah. Right. Why not?
Yeah. He helped us out. He gave us a start.
Exactly.
All right. Well, anything else on Ken?
No, that's it. I'm curious as to when he will announce whatever it is that is going to happen.
I bet you it's going to be a January 1st thing.
Yeah, like start of the new year.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Like, hey, here's a new sponsorship. Oh, yeah.
I bet he's got the itch, though, to get back out and play.
Yeah, I think so. And he's still a good player. He's still a great player, you know?
Yeah.
So, well, after all that talk and speculation, I wish him luck, and I hope whatever he does finds great success, because I think the better anybody does in disc golf, the better we're all going to do in disc golf. So,
Yeah, true.
awesome. Now, talking about a legend, we're going to talk about the Legend skins. I did watch it. I know you haven't had the chance, you said?
No.
Or you saw it, but you didn't.
Yeah, I just saw the thumbnail and everything, but I didn't watch it yet.
So it's pretty good. It's worth a watch. It is neat to tie in the kind of almost generations of disc golf there. You know,
Okay.
because you got Brinster, who's kind of a between DOS and... No, Brinster's kind of old school. I mean, like... He's a DOS era. Maybe a little before DOS.
Yeah,
But
a
you
little
got
bit.
DOS, Brinster, Macbeth, and then
Big-
Coling.
Yeah.
Jeremy Coling. And it's fun to watch them. They're all very different in their styles. And Coling is getting a booming backhand, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like big backhand. Like 550 plus backhand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. When I'm watching, I'm like, wow. You know, they're playing USDGC, Winthrop, and I'm just watching. I'm like, oh my goodness. But you got those three. It is a great watch, man. It is really fun. DOS is just, and maybe this is just DOS, but oh my goodness, that's exactly what DOS does to me. But DOS takes over the camera so much.
Okay.
And, just talking with Mike Perkins.
Oh, is that with Luke Humphreys?
Oh, or is it? I'm sorry, it is Humphreys. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
Perkins.
Yeah, he's the one that usually does the GK Pro skins, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good, man. So it's worth a watch if you haven't watched it, or I would watch it. I started getting a bunch of like hits on Facebook or something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was, but I started seeing a bunch of like little clips. Oh, it was YouTube. I started seeing a bunch of little clips. I was like, I don't have Facebook or Instagram anymore, so I was like, which one is it? But it was on YouTube, on like the reels or shorts on YouTube. And I kept getting a bunch of hits on it. And I was like, huh. So I finally just watched it. And it was good. It was good. I was really hesitant to watch it, but it was really good. And it is fun to listen to them banter back and forth. And they like bait Coling into throwing the shot that's like impossible. And Coling the whole time is like, this isn't going to work. It's stupid. It's your fault, you know?
Yeah.
And he's doing his Coling thing. It's awesome. Yeah. So if you want to watch it, get out there. I encourage you to watch it. Outside of that, I don't have anything. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good. I had like 3 days worth of Thanksgiving.
Did you really?
We kind of did our own thing Thursday night, just like our family. And then Friday, we did stuff with my parents and like my sister and my brother-in-law and stuff. And then yesterday, we did stuff with Alyssa's family. So it was like bang, 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 like 3 days in a row. I'm kind of hungover on turkey.
Which one was the best turkey? Are you allowed to say?
Oh, man. I think last night's was the better turkey.
Okay. That's your
At Alyssa's
family.
family's.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Turkey's a weird thing, man.
it is.
It's hard to cook good.
I hear a lot of people are moving towards like having prime rib for Thanksgiving. Like there's a new trend, like trying to move away from turkey a little bit.
Really? Is there a reason behind it, or just,
I don't know. That's just kind of what I heard.
That's the new
I don't
thing?
know. Yeah.
man, I'd much rather spend like,
I knew some other people too that were making like beef Wellington.
holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. I would much rather spend $30 on like a turkey instead of like $100 on a standing rib roast.
Yeah, right.
But although they'd be good, But ironically enough, I'm just not a beef guy.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what it is, like a steak. Like, some guys, you're like, oh, let's go get a steak. And they're like, yeah, steak. I'm like, they got chicken tenders? Like, I would much rather have chicken breast, or like, I'd rather go to B-Dubs
Sure.
over like Ruth's Chris or whatever.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I think I would too.
it's just this weird thing. I mean, and I worked, that was the very first like true chefing job I ever had, was at a steakhouse. And I know meat, I know how to cook it. I just doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
I don't know why. There's very few cuts that like, I'm like, yep, I'll take that. But
Yeah.
I usually like the crap cuts, like flank or, like flat irons, like
Yeah.
those type of cuts. Those are the cuts I like. I don't know why. New York strip, I'll eat, but
Yeah.
I don't get excited about it. I don't get excited about it. So, moral of the story is, I'll stick to turkey.
Okay.
Ham? Are you a ham guy?
No.
Really?
No, I'm not. I can't get excited for ham.
Not even like a spiral cut honey ham?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is about ham, but it just doesn't excite me.
Really?
I see it and I'm like, oh, really? We're having ham?
Like, note to self.
Yeah. Well, so, because like Christmas is usually, people are still saying ham. Alyssa's family does, we do, there's ham sometimes. And then we do, they're Italian, so we do a lot of Italian food.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's nice.
That is nice. We do enchiladas.
Okay.
We do Christmas enchiladas. Not at all. And if we can get a hold of some good tamales, we'll do tamales as well.
Ah.
But we don't do any like traditional Christmas meal.
Yeah.
Like, and normally we're the one that hosts.
Okay, that's what I was asked. Do you guys normally host Christmas and Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we're normally the hosts.
Okay.
But I've been like, not desperately, not that I don't love doing it. I love cooking. I love hosting.
Or is it like one of those things where like you make the main thing and then like other people bring side dishes and all that?
No, it's usually me for everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Traditionally, I'm cooking for a day and a half. Like just
That's
prepping
a lot of
and
pressure.
doing all that. Yeah. And I always mess up something. It is what it is. But, like I said, I love hosting. I love having the people here. I love all that stuff. I love cooking. Like none of that stuff honestly bothers me. It's the aftermath. It's like all the cleanup and then having all the food left in the fridge. I know this sounds weird. I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, I like eating it, but like, just give me one to-go container and I'm good. Not a fridge full of stuff,
Absolutely.
And that's on me. That's on me for cooking so much, But Christmas is not on me this year. So pretty excited just to kind of sit back and enjoy.
Nice.
Yeah. So, if there was one traditional side dish in Thanksgiving that you could do away with, what would it be?
Cranberry sauce.
You and I just don't
Or
understand
probably like
you.
green bean casserole.
Yes. With the French onion on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the green bean casserole is by far the traditional one that I hate.
Yeah.
And another, I love mashed potatoes.
I do too.
So I'm all for it. But this year I did hash brown casserole.
Oh, okay.
That was pretty good.
Right on.
It's pretty cheesy hash brown casserole. It was pretty good. I'm sure people were
What was that?
some get loose over there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think the showstopper of this meal, this time, there was. I guess it was the green bean. It was the green bean casserole. It was the hash brown casserole.
Okay.
I'd probably say that was probably the one that was like that was the best.
Somebody was, it's our truck driver that brings the mail up to us. He was talking about his wife making a hamburger stuffing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mixing hamburger and the breadcrumbs and like all this other stuff. I was like, oh, that sounds enticing.
Yes. My wife does a homemade one, and she does a stuffing, and she does a homemade one with sausage in it.
Okay.
It's really good. It's really good. Yeah. So, the only other thing I did, Moana 2, we went and watched. We made way
Yeah.
to the village of Sturgeon Bay so we could watch Moana. It was pretty good. It's obviously not as good as the first one.
Okay.
But I would not say that it's bad by any means. I would say if you have kids, or even if you don't have kids, go watch it. It's fun.
Nice.
It's enjoyable. I watched it it was Ezra's very first movie.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was exciting. So we
Sat through it okay?
No, not at all.
Oh.
I mean, he was fine. Like, he was happy, but he started to, like, coo and caw and make, like, baby noises,
Yeah.
you know?
Packed theater.
Yeah, packed.
Whoa.
For real's packed.
Yeah.
Like, we walked in and we were like, oh. My daughter stopped and was like, what do we do? I'm like, find a seat. But there's so many people. So for reference sake, for those of you that don't know where we're from, if there's like 4 people in the theater parking lot when we pull up, we're like, wow, it's busy.
Yeah, right. Like, it's funny.
Yes. It's surprising how that 6 movie theater stays open.
It is.
In my humble opinion. Like, I just expect that one day we're going to show up and it's going to have like yellow tape on the doors. And
Right.
just like, sorry, we're closed, you know.
I don't know. Like, the only way they can do it is like opening weekend's big for them, and then
Yeah.
I don't know how else they do it.
I mean, I've been there where I have been the only one in the theater, or the people that I've gone with have been the only people
Oh yeah,
in the theater.
absolutely. I've
Quite a
definitely
few
done
times.
that.
Quite
Yeah.
a few times.
They're like, okay, they have like 2 people working at the company, like, okay, we got to start up projector or whatever, you know. Like, oh, it's really not that popular.
Yeah, exactly. So you're saying we're the only ones? They were like, yeah, we were going to take the night off, but yeah, it's. So I used to know a guy that worked there. He doesn't work there anymore, but he was the guy that did all the projectors. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember which one it was, what movie it was, but I remember coming in and he was like taking the tickets and doing the concessions, and he's like, just give me like 5 minutes. I got to go start up the projector. And I was like, what do you mean? Like feed the reel and stuff? He's like, oh, no, it's all digital now. But well,
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty cool. So, but he was saying there are times where they won't even run projectors. And I was like, so do you pay for those? And he goes, no, if we don't sell a ticket and we don't run the movie, we don't pay for them because they're all digital now.
Yeah.
So they pay per showing, not per.
Oh,
No, back in the day, you would just buy the reel or
exactly.
rent the reel.
Like, that's how it was at the Skyway. Like, you would pay to get the reel, and that's why they hold over movies so long.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, we're holding this movie over because we have the reel and we can't get anything like new, so
Yes.
we're showing like a newer movie and like an old, like, you know, couple week old movie at the same time.
Yeah.
But now they're digital as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And that's kind of nice. So then you just pay for the showing. So I'm like, so my $2 or $5 on Tuesday, ticket
right.
is paying for that? He's like, nope. We're definitely losing money on that
But you
one.
think about, like, say you rent a movie from like Amazon or something. It's like $20.
Oh yeah, for
So,
sure.
I mean-
for sure. It's probably cheaper again to go back to the movie theaters now.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
Less comfortable, less convenient for
Right.
sure. Cheaper, probably.
It could be. Yeah.
Well, it depends on if you're fat like me. Because if you're fat like me, it's not
Popcorn,
just
drinks,
the ticket.
all that other-
Popcorn,
yeah,
drink,
exactly.
candy. And if you didn't buy enough candy, you got to go back and get more candy. Yeah. Oh, actually, I was pretty good this last time. I had some of my daughter's nachos, some of my son's popcorn, and then pretzel bites.
Okay.
And that was it. And a soda, of course. So, and then I walked around with Ezra for about half the movie.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, but it was good though. All right. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
No. I'm excited to see Red One. Are you not excited about that one?
Nah, not so much.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Which is the one you're excited about? Is there any movie out that you're excited about?
I just want to see Gladiator too.
I do want to see that too. There's too many movies.
Yeah, there's probably some more. There's gonna be an animated Lord of the Rings movie coming out.
Yeah.
I just saw a trailer for.
Yeah, it's out in the Twin Cities right now.
Okay. There's another movie that I saw a trailer for, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, well.
What about the live action Moana?
That's not for a while though, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not.
But I think they're working on it.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen snapshots of The Rock
Yes.
dressed as Maui.
Yes. I've seen a picture of him dressed as Maui.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going, so soon? Like,
Right.
I think you would wait just a little bit.
I know. I get like the remake of like Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid, like some of these other ones, and it's like, yeah, Moana really didn't come out that long ago.
No, and you just released another one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. But he's holding 2 box office #1s in the same month.
That's wild.
The Rock. That's crazy.
Yeah, that doesn't
Because
happen.
with Red One and so that's pretty nifty.
Right on.
All right. I don't have anything else to say, I promise.
Okay.
We're at an hour.
Well, all right.
There you go. All right. Good luck, Ken Climo. Way to go get him, champ.
Yep.
And if you buy Prodigy, call us. We might buy some stuff from you then.
Oh.
But until then, lose our number. With that being said, DoorDisc.com is where you can buy all your disc golf needs. And we do have Prodigy still. We do have some Black Friday, Cyber Mondays, Small Business Saturday deals that are going on from this past Friday till probably the day you're listening to this, which is Monday. We have some great deals going on. You get some extra stuff. In shop are better than the online, but like I said, you got till Monday. So DoorDisc.com and then door_disc_golf and night_owl_pod. I think outside of that, have yourself an amazing day. And with that, JP is going to leave us with inspirational advice.
Deuces in the toilet.
You hit the good notes on that. Do you sing at a treble? Or are you all about that bass?